You always talk about nature, and you're a big proponent of the outdoors, and obviously of the hunting that goes with it, and the bow and the bow and arrow, and the Zen like connection that comes that's missing with so many people in this world, and especially as city dwellers. I mean, is that something you always felt? And can you explain to someone who doesn't have that in their lives why it's so important, why it brings out the best in humans, that in that grounding way, like you said?
Yes, I can explain it, and I have a Ted Nugent Camp for Kids charity, a nonprofit, strictly volunteer charity for 31 years now. It was inspired by my bow hunting hero, Fred Bear, in the swamps and forests of Michigan. And I was so, all the kids growing up after World War II, we all had bows and arrows and BB guns and slingshots. I mean, it was just ubiquitous. We'd make our own slingshots down by the river, and that was, learning to improvise, adapt, and overcome. Just projectiles. Everything comes from projectile management, which is the name of one of my companies. I manage my projectiles. And that whole small, miss small, mystical flight of the arrow, Brian, that fortified me. If ever there was a guy that was going to be a rebel and get drunk and stoned, it should have been me, because my dad was so belligerent. He was a drill sergeant to the day he died, and we hated him. But if you met my brothers and sister, the discipline that he forced upon us was the definitive love of a parent. And I'm going to go right back to the projectile management. My Daisy Red Ryder BB gun, we aim small, miss small to shoot that squirrel. And my dad taught me how to skin it and gut it and cook it. That's where food comes from. You might hire somebody to kill your chickens and your cows for you, but this is sacred. This is pure. You have to know that animal to kill it with a slingshot. That way you know its habitat and how that habitat is critical for not just the squirrel's life, but your life. Need clean air, soil, and water, and that only comes from one source: wildlife habitat that is balanced based on the annual harvest of the surplus. Why isn't that sentence available in any school on planet Earth? Oh, I could fix everything. So that fascination with the mystical flight of the air, I'm surrounded. I mean,
Are those your bows? Oh, wow. What does that mean, aim small, miss small, Ted, when you say that?
That's a big zebra safe full of guns. Those are my bows. And there's some of my old bows from 1955, 1956. But I shoot my bow every day. I've shot about 100 arrows already today. And I'm telling you, Brian, let me share with everybody witnessing this right now. My name is Ted Nugent. I'll be 72. And I know I have bags under my eyes, but those are ammo bags. Because I'm up and at 'em. I'm so alive. You can cook marshmallows from the vapor trail coming out of my ass. I cherish every breath and every day. Ask Mrs. Nugent. And I got Maggie. Come on, mate. There's my girl right there. And look how she loves me. How can you not love Ted Nugent when dogs love me that? So my point about the mystical flight of the arrow, Brian, it's the origins of Zen. I believe that every problem our society has infected itself with could be fixed if archery was in every curriculum K through 12. I was so fascinated by the ducks and the quail and the pheasants and the squirrels and the raccoons, the possum, the skunk, the fox, the occasional coyote, the geese, the mallards. And I didn't kill much because a bow and arrow was so demanding. You have to get pretty close and you have to be pretty accurate. But this act of this hand holding the bow and this hand looking at the bullseye or the vitals of a small target, it's virtual consuming. As you grab that bow and arrow, I'll put it in the most emphatic, dynamic way I can. When I get the bow in my hand, by the time I knock that arrow, I got so many behind me. There's no Hillary Clinton. There's no corruption. There's no hate. There's no communism. There's no divisiveness. I'm telling you, Brian, my hero Fred Bear used the term, it will cleanse your soul. Brian, it cleanses the soul. When you use your gifts from God to its ultimate application, left hand, right hand, eye coordination, the breathing, it's samurai. It's every arrow I shoot, I'm as close to being Bruce Lee as I can possibly be. Well, wait a minute, there's one place I can be closer. When I play a Gibson Birdland through a stack of Fender amps, Bruce Lee wishes he could be that guy. But there is a focus. The most important things in life come from total application of your all resources and constantly pushing yourself to discover more resources to be a better welder, to be a better guitar player, to be a better loving disciplinarian for my grandkids. I teach them, they all shoot bows and arrows.